Imagine a time when humans could only dream of reaching the stars. A time when the idea of an object floating above Earth, transmitting signals across continents, seemed like science fiction. This is the story of how that dream became reality, the invention of satellites. Our journey begins in the tense era of the Cold War. It was the 1950s, and the world's two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, were in a fierce race to dominate space. This race wasn't just about exploration, it was a show of technological and military power. On October 4, 1957, the Soviet Union stunned the world. They launched Sputnik 1, the very first artificial satellite, into orbit. Sputnik was a metal sphere, just 58 centimeters wide, with 4 long antennas. It weighed about 184 pounds, not much by today's standards, but it sent shockwaves across the globe. Its constant beep, beep signal, broadcast from space, became a chilling reminder that humans had entered the space age. For 21 days, Sputnik 1 transmitted its signal before its batteries died, but its impact lasted far longer. It wasn't just a scientific achievement, it was a wake-up call to the United States. They realized they had fallen behind in the space race. In response, the US government poured resources into their own satellite program. Just 4 months later, in January 1958, they launched Explorer 1. This wasn't just a satellite. It carried scientific instruments that discovered the Van Allen radiation belts, a region of charged particles surrounding Earth. This marked the beginning of satellites being used for science, not just competition. But what exactly is a satellite? Simply put, it's any object that orbits another. The Moon is Earth's natural satellite, but man-made satellites, or artificial satellites, are far more versatile. They've transformed how we communicate, navigate, and understand our planet. In the 1960s, satellites began to revolutionize communication. Telstar, launched in 1962, was the first to transmit live television broadcasts across the Atlantic. People in Europe could watch American news live for the first time. By the end of the decade, satellites like Syncom enabled real-time global communication, laying the groundwork for today's internet. Satellites aren't just about communication. They've helped us understand our planet. In 1972, NASA launched Landsat-1, the first satellite designed to monitor Earth. It captured images of forests, deserts, and glaciers, helping scientists study climate change long before it was a mainstream concern. Today, satellites are everywhere. There are thousands orbiting Earth right now, performing tasks we often take for granted. GPS satellites guide planes, ships, and even our phones. Weather satellites predict hurricanes and track storms, saving countless lives. Spy satellites monitor global security threats, while scientific satellites explore distant planets and galaxies. From the early days of Sputnik to the advanced satellites of today, this technology has changed how we see ourselves and our place in the universe. The invention of satellites wasn't just a leap for science, it was a leap for humanity. And as we look to the future, one thing is certain: satellites will continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, taking us closer to the stars and helping us better understand our home, Earth.